countries, can I ask someone from that country to stand? And I think you'll get a visual then of how many people contributed to this document. So, could I ask, in the room, do we have anyone from Singapore? I know Evelyn is not able to be with us, but is there anyone in the room from Singapore? Could you stand and stay standing, please? Thank you. Francois from South Africa contributed. Could I get you, someone from South Africa, to stand? I know Francois is not able to be with us. Someone from South Africa to stand, please. We also had a representative from Sweden. Karina joined us on the committee. Is there someone here from Sweden? Thank you. Stay standing, please. Patrick, who's been taking photos all morning, is standing. He's also a member of this group. We had a member from Poland. I don't believe we have anyone here from Poland. Malaysia. Thank you. Elisa from the United States. I think you are in the room. Thank you. Jemina was in the room. Excellent. Kenya. Jack, I don't believe, is with us. Anyone from Kenya? Canada, Malaysia, Mexico. Someone from Mexico, thank you. Belgium, Simone. Nigeria, Tim, I know you are in the room. Tim Tanat, thank you. Standing. Beth from the United States, and Peaceway from Zimbabwe. Thank you. As you look around the room, you see all of these countries have contributed to this work. So thank you. Please show your appreciation to all of you. The other thing that we would like to say is that the completed document you had a chance to see on the website, and it will be placed on the website again, and it's a living document. So it will make some changes as more of you offer contributions for it. But the process showed us that we can work collaboratively across many different countries in order to create something that is useful. So thank you for supporting that process. There are two things that we wanted to say this morning. One of them is that an important piece of this work was the development of a philosophical statement. That philosophical statement is designed to help us work together as we travel across countries to support each other in educating interpreters. That philosophical statement emphasizes the need to be supportive, respectful, and sensitive to the language and culture of the countries that we're working with. It also strongly emphasizes the important role of national interpreters, both deaf and hearing, and national deaf organizations and interpreter organizations to build the strength and the capacity to sustain the training for the long term. So the philosophical statement is part of the document, and it is to guide educators working with other countries. And now I'll turn it over to Rachel, and she can tell you a little bit more about the guidelines.
The second part of the document aims to actually give some practical guidance or advice to countries who are wanting to begin or continue the process of developing interpreter training. And Deb has just lost my page on her fancy technology. And so that part of the document begins by describing some examples in 5 different countries to show the process of development in those countries as kind of possible models or examples of how training has proceeded. And it includes examples from Kosovo, from Mexico, Colombia, Kenya, and New Zealand. So quite different countries and different regions that have had rather different journeys from the beginning to the establishment of interpreter training. The other thing that we have done is to try and set out a possible pathway in a 3-stage model of how a country could newly develop interpreter training over a long period of years, particularly in countries which does not already have any existing interpreter training, but may wish to work with countries that do have interpreter training to develop local expertise and local strength in providing training. In the guidelines, we have again referred back to the philosophy statement, which emphasises the need for perhaps foreign individuals from other countries coming in to work alongside, to always to have sensitivity to the local culture, to the local language, and to the needs and styles of the people that they're working with. Also, the document provides a suggested outline of what might go into an interpreter training program, the kind of components that would form part of a program, and the steps towards developing those stages.
That's our report.
I think that shows the true spirit of Wasli, that people from so many different countries gave their time freely to pull together such a document. As Deb says, it's going to be on the website. It's an evolving document, and we hope people will contribute to it and find it helpful to them in their future plans. So once again, Deb and your team, thank you very much. There was also a second task group, and the topic of the second task group was to look at assessment and certification. And unfortunately, although initial work was started on that, the member of the board leading it was the treasurer, and as I've already explained, the treasurer has been absent for a period of time due to ill health. So although work was begun, it hasn't been completed, but at the board meeting yesterday, we have agreed that the new board will take this forward, and indeed if there is anyone here that is interested in participating in the work of that group, that we can provide some guidance for countries who wish to learn more about assessment and certification of sign language interpreters, then please do come forward, and we'd be very happy to have you in the task group. So, we've been doing very well for time. We now are going to stop, and you are going to do a little bit of work. From 10:30, which is about now, to 11, we would like groups from the regions to meet together, and George Major, who's a member of the board, will come forward and tell you in which corner of this room you should meet, and which region will meet where. And what we want you to do is, in your groups, look at what you think the priorities are in your region from now until 2015. How you think you need to plan and support the developments that are necessary in your region. And can you identify one individual who will then feed back the results of your discussion, not today, but afterwards, to the new secretary of the Wasli board. So that's from 10:30 to 11. There will be some groups whose prime task will be to look at regional representation, and Zane and I will help out with that. So from 10:30 to 11, you have work to do on identifying priorities for action from your area. And from 11 to 11:30, you're free to have coffee and cake. So, George, can you tell people? Thanks.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I've found space for us all over the hotel, so I apologise in advance if some of these spaces don't work, but it gives you somewhere to start with. If you are from Africa, please come to the front of this room and you can meet here. Arabic nations also can stay in this room and perhaps meet at the back of the room. Asia, if you just go out the doors that we came in and meet somewhere in the foyer, if that's possible, if the space works. Australasia and Oceania, also please go out the main doors. Then if you turn to your right and follow the signs towards the toilets, there's a very nice space with couches out there. I decided to put my region there, but it's a very nice space, it's lovely. Latin America, please go out into the foyer to the left, and then if you go to the stairs and go down one level, it's not the ground, I think it's the mezzanine. There's a nice space there. Europe, please go downstairs to the ground floor and you can meet in the foyer. And last but not least, North America can go up to the pool area, which is on level 2. Yeah, if anyone didn't hear that or you're not sure where you're supposed to be, just come up the front and ask me. Good luck, have fun.